Hello, comic book fans, my nerdy friends, and my geeky compadres. Today is January 10th, and it's time for a review. Welcome to Running with Comics. This is episode 2. Did you like the intro? I kind of like the intro. Today, I'm going to do a review, but first, I want to say thank you and a big shout out to 604 Comics, my first subscriber and my first comment. Thank you for welcoming me to the community. Check them out, 604 Comics, great channel, does great book reviews. I'll put the link down in the below the downstairs area, and go check out the channel. So let's get to the review. Superior Spider-Man #1. I was really psyched about this book, as you could tell from my other 2 videos saying that it was going to be my next video. Really liked it. The first page to me was fantastic. You'll see right here, it shows Otto Octavius as Peter Parker standing at his grave and putting flowers on his own grave. To me, I've always been curious about who would be at my funeral, what my grave would look like, all that kind of stuff. So seeing this is kind of cool to me. He goes to his own grave, puts flowers down, and then on a police bandwidth, hears that there's something going on. So he rips his shirt and shows the Spider-Man logo. It's pretty sweet. One thing that I also really liked about this was I really liked Otto Octavius's personality in Peter Parker. It's kind of funny to me. Like a lot of his lines were quite humorous. In the book, we also find out that there is a new Sinister Six. That's the call that Peter Parker, or Spider-Man, Otto Octavius, that's the call that he gets while standing at his grave to go help, really. So we find out, see here, this is the chaos and mayhem. So also in the book, we find out that there's a new Sinister Six, made up of Overdrive, Boomerang, Shocker, a new Beetle, Living Brain, and Speed Demon. Now, Otto Octavius kind of takes offense to this new Sinister Six and just starts calling them all jokes, like they're nothing. And then Speed Demon comes up and just starts pounding on him. Like 100 punches per second or something like that is what they said in the book. And Otto Octavius is just like, you know what? I've had enough. I don't see how Peter Parker has done this as Spider-Man. I'm leaving. Boomerang threw a nitro ring as Spider-Man was leaving, came back and was going to attack a policeman. But Spider-Man came back, jumped on the policeman, ducked, and the nitro ring didn't hit him. As he was on the ground helping with the policeman, Boomerang came up with a boomerang behind Spider-Man's neck and was just going to chop his head off. Spider-Man turns around and claws him with these new claws he has on the tips of his fingers. We find out later that he, when he clawed Boomerang, it implanted a GPS and listening like a bug into his skin. So during the skirmish, Spider-Man takes out the Living Brain, just beats him, he's out of commission. So after the whole thing, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Otto Octavius, whoever, we'll just go by Spider-Man, even when he's in normal clothes. Spider-Man takes the Living Brain, takes him to work, and he's going to work on him and get new, make new things based on the inner workings of the Living Brain. So he goes into work, he starts tinkering around, and kind of comes to the realization that everything he does from now on is no longer an Otto Octavius invention. It's a Peter Parker thing, and it kind of starts messing with his head a little bit. Same with his time with Mary Jane. He goes to dinner with Mary Jane, and they're sitting there having a good time, whatever. And he comments on how his life is going to be different as Peter Parker, including the view, and it shows a chest shot of Mary Jane Watson. That was kind of funny to me. Also, one thing I really thought was kind of funny was this cell right here, where it shows Mary Jane talking to Peter Parker, but his thoughts going over all her word bubbles. So I thought that was really kind of funny, because that's how some people do at a date, you know. So during their date, Peter has this, it looks like a Bluetooth headset in his ear the whole time, and Mary Jane is like, "Can't you just take that out and pay attention to me?" And he's like, "Well, see, it's kind of a Spider-Man thing. I implanted a homing device and GPS bug in the Boomerang when I was fighting with them, so I know what they're doing. And right now they're planning something big, and I'm just waiting for the perfect time to, you know, step out and go take care of things." So we find out that they're planning a big heist of parts for a weather machine, and so Peter Parker, Spider-Man, here's like their whole plan. So he kind of gets a setup going. The new Sinister Six run in, you know, do whatever. And when they get there, when they turn around, Spider-Man already has webs all over the place, like blocking their exits. And so Speed Demon's like, "Well, I can get through this. There's no big problem." And he starts running after Spider-Man. But Spider-Man put down like this film on the cement that's like a no friction film, so Speed Demon can't get his feet going correctly, and he just slips and biffs it. We also find out that Spider-Man set up a power dampening field, so all their electronics and everything just crapped out. Their powers are just terrible. It doesn't work. So basically, all these inventions that he made up just obliterate the new Sinister Six, and he just starts taking them out one by one. At the end of the book, Spider-Man is just beating the hell out of the Boomerang, just pound after pound after pound. You see blood in the eye and everything like that, and it looks like he's about to just like gouge out Boomerang's face with his claws and just kill him, basically, is what it looks like. But at the end of the book, it's like Peter Parker's soul comes and stops Otto Octavius as Spider-Man from killing him. That I didn't think was going to happen for a few more books, at least a few more books in the run, like maybe 10. I thought it was going to happen next year maybe. I thought that would happen, and they did it at the end of the first book. Which is kind of surprising to me. I don't hate it. I expected it already. I just didn't think that was going to happen quite yet. So, kind of surprising to me. I mean, it was obvious that it was going to happen eventually, because, you know, that's just how books work. But overall, I really like the book. I'm psyched for number 2 to come out. You know, the Superior Spider-Man looks like it's going to be a really good run to me. So yeah, you know, I would do it, 4 out of 5 stars or whatever, but I don't have anything to go off of as far as a perfect book. So I'm just going to say that I really, really liked it, and you should pick it up too. We'll see where it goes. Like I said, I'm really psyched for number 2 to come out. So that's it, for this episode. Hope you liked it. If so, give me the thumbs up, write a comment, subscribe, and, I'll see you next time. Bye.